Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Breath of the Wild, the Legend of Zelda. So what does legend mean, actually? Amber and I were having a fun little discussion, and this is going to be most of our little video today while we boringly run with the Olympic torch and try to light these.
I just realized it's okay for you to put your hoodie down, because then you match Link.
I have a hoodie.
But I still can't tell what your expressions are. I can't tell if my jokes are funny or not, so I guess the audience, people in the... Hey!
Alright, so before we get to our topic at hand today, which we're going to confuse
I want that cape.
You guys so badly. Our goal today is to take this stick, and actually we have various clubs and sticks now because you need them in order to light these torches with blue flames so you can get up to the mountain and light that. But anyway, today we're talking about the Zelda timeline and how Nintendo basically ruined everything.
Yeah, so basically what I was telling Luke is I just realized something. The very definition of legend, like the Legend of El Dorado and the Legend of Atlantis, like, or the Legend of the Loch Ness Monster, you don't know if it actually exists or not, which means you don't know everything about it, which means you don't have all the information, which means you don't have a timeline. Like, Zelda is based off of, like, one thing I really like, what's really cool about this game is, like, those old writings and the old style of artwork explaining history and stuff. That's what it's like. It's like, when people study history and, you know, ancient cultures and stuff, you don't know all the information. Sometimes you think something, and then, like, 100 years later, you'll discover you were totally wrong. Like, you think someone was using something as a form of worshiping their gods, and then you find out 100 years later, oh, you find another piece of evidence, you realize, oh, wait, they were just using this as a toothbrush. We were totally wrong. Like, that's the whole point of, like...
God's toothbrush.
Of history and legends, exactly. Alright, so, like, what I was saying, before that loading screen, like, if you have a legend, like the Legend of El Dorado, or the Legend of Atlantis, or whatever, like, you don't know everything about it, so when people demanded a timeline from Zelda, like, what Luke was telling me, like, the way they did it for an actual game that you know the history, like,
Ocarina of Time?
What am I thinking? Like...
Castlevania?
Castlevania. So that actually has a history that we know of because there was actually written documents about it. But with Zelda, the timeline is so big. Like, it's a legendary tale or legend. Like, you don't know everything about it.
Basically had so many different tales in it to be, like, spread as a legend.
Yeah,
all you knew is it was a kid in a green tunic.
It doesn't have to be accurate. If it's a legend, it means half the people that you tell this about will think you're insane because they're not sure if this actually existed or not. So it's not like a history. It's like a legend because it's not proven. So just by making a timeline, it makes it the historical documents of Zelda or that are proven in Scientific America or something instead of actually the legend. Legend should be more like the Legend of Bigfoot or something that you don't know if it happened or not because it's too fantastic to believe. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm saying, but it should not have a timeline.
So basically...
It ruins the whole... It cannot be called The Legend of Zelda anymore once it has a timeline. And that's why it's stupid. Like, since they added the timeline, they basically gave that one Link a fate worse than death. And
Ocarina of Time Link,
they made everything too complicated.
The split timeline theory, either he dies, he lives and goes back as a child, or the timeline that he leaves as an adult also gets destroyed because there's no Link to defend it.
Yeah, but see, what you could do is, instead of having all those timelines, you could do kind of the Joker thing where it's multiple choice. You don't know what happened. It doesn't matter. It's just a legend. It's just stories. Like, it doesn't have to make any sense. Like, it's just a cool story.
Oh, and if you guys and gals are wondering, why are we back here at the Temple of Time? You need sticks and torches in order to do that puzzle. So, I mean... We had to go where it's easiest to collect these because I didn't have any of those things in tow because, like, I use amiibo drops all the time, so I get good weapons.
Everyone's going to disagree with me because I haven't played every Zelda game, but I have watched a lot of people play Zelda.
That makes you an expert. Go on.
I have watched people play Zelda, and I played the NES version, so...
I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
I took a semester of Zelda for a year, so I'm right up there. Go.
So anyway, that's all I have to say. I mean, I could probably go on, but it's just... I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but it's ruined by making a timeline. It's no longer a legend.
You just don't like what happened to Ocarina of Time, Link.
That really makes me mad.
Well,
yeah.
I have some more sad news. My favorite Link, A Link to the Past Link. Oh, you're gonna love this. Alrighty, so my favorite Link, A Link to the Past, or Triforce of the Gods as it's known in Japan, also has a crummy ending to his story.
What?
And he went through a lot because he fell in love with the princess, she fell in love with him, she spoke to him in his dreams.
Oh yeah, that was the most romantic thing ever.
He went through the light and the dark world to get her back.
Did.
And then in the manga of the series, after he becomes knighted, because she feels neglected because he has to protect the Triforce, she dumps him.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of the saddest endings outside of what happens to Ocarina of Time, Link.
That's so stupid. That's just like people that basically dump their, boyfriends or spouses because they spend too much time at their job. But it's like they're working their job so they can provide for their, like, that's his job. Like,
She gave him that job.
I know. She assigned him the job. If she's basically his boss, and then she's like, "Oh, you're working too hard at your job," it's like, well,
I'm a woman, Link. I'm not just the queen of Hyrule.
All right, I have some insight onto this because I was just thinking about this because we were talking about this.
Okay.
I think maybe part of the reason, because women never tell you the exact reason why. They'll tell you a reason, but that's not the real reason why.
I'm still trying to figure out half the things you say.
So, okay,
to be honest.
so hey, that's fine. So, I think the real reason why she dumped him was because he didn't communicate well, because all he can say is, hit, hut, hey.
No, only the Ocarina of Time Link was mute, and Twilight Princess.
Oh, so I guess that does not hold water.
The Link to the Past actually, sorry.
He had like text
Link,
and stuff?
yes, Link had text.
Oh.
And I believe he didn't have text in Ocarina of Time, the manga. Everybody spoke and he just kind of like did like hand motions or whatever.
That could be why the Ocarina of Time one got really screwed over, because...
No, Zelda felt guilty that she and Link, either that or maybe she didn't like Link and didn't want to repopulate Hyrule. Because, like, she sends him back as an adult when he obviously loves her.
That was
and just,
so cold.
You know.
And how did she have the right to do that? Like, it's almost like...
Well, it was her ocarina.
She's basically like Zatanna, like, wiping people's minds. Like, she's just disturbing.
She did pull Zatanna, but the thing is, while Zelda's mind was erased, and that world... That Zelda actually has a sad ending, though, because Ganon comes back a couple years later, destroys Hyrule, and the king of Hyrule...
Right.
And they try to call on Link to have him come and defeat Ganon. There is no Link in this world anymore. So then a new Link has to come, and that's the Wind Waker.
Oh, right.
So that the one where the hero abandons Hyrule is not a happy story either. And this all befalls poor Ocarina of Time Link.
I know. It's like a fate worse than death, because if he's in love with her, and also he built his life. He worked so hard. And I can kind of relate to that, because I've worked hard for a lot of things in my life that have basically fallen through. Like, Luke and I have been on YouTube for forever, so it's like, I know the feeling, and then you see other people, like, just zoom ahead of you. And
people that just started, yeah.
And it's just, like, so depressing. So I can totally relate to Ocarina of Time Link. Like, can you imagine if someone just if they wiped everyone's memory, and the only people that knew that you and I existed were us, and we were like, oh yeah, we actually worked on YouTube for 10 years, we, worked really hard, and it's like everything you've worked for is gone. Like, that's basically what he had to deal with, and he
just became like a really cool knight in Hyrule's army, but he took a lot of risks because
basically it's
he ended up with the milk girl.
Well, if you think of it, being Link, you have to give up everything in your life. He wasn't able to make friends, he wasn't able to make relationships, he gave up everything so he could be Link and save the princess, and then she basically erased his entire life. And like it's like cruel. It's like a demon lord would do to you or something. Like, it's terrible.
Well, she didn't erase his entire life. I mean, she sent him back because she felt guilty.
But he doesn't have the energy to relive his life over. Like,
oh no, he does. He does some things differently. But here's the thing: people say that, and this is weird. In Termina or Majora's Mask, that takes place. At least it should take place in the Hero's Decline world because that Link supposedly is dead.
Yeah.
Like, Majora's Mask is supposed to be a story about the afterlife, supposedly. Yeah. So that would not take place directly after Ocarina of Time. It would be in tandem with Ocarina of Time, but this would take place with Link's spirit in the Hero's Decline one, the one where Link actually died fighting Ganon. Then there was the Great Imprisoning War, and then like 100 or 200 years later, we have A Link to the Past, which, amazing game. I can't sing its praises enough.
You like that game, Luke? Yeah.
But it was never called Link to the Past in Japan. It's called Triforce of the Gods because you're trying to get the Triforce.
That's a pretty awesome name, actually.
Because the Triforce actually becomes a real object because before it was actually inside of people. Like, part of it was the Triforce of Courage was inside Link, the Triforce of Wisdom was inside the princess, not the goddess, and then the Triforce of Power was inside the evil person.
Oh, right.
So after the sealing in the Decline world, the Triforce became an actual object again.
All right. Well, here's something I was thinking about with Link, Ocarina of Time Link, though. Since he's so lonely.
Okay.
All right.
Lonely and trying to basically...
He lost his Zelda, and he's sitting there all bony, like, whatever. He has no princess, and he's living out his days forever, like as a skeleton or whatever.
He's not really living anymore. He's a hero shade.
Maybe at that point, or a little before that, he should have ended up with that first Zelda, who was lying there for 1,000 years that had nobody.
Okay, now you're going into the Hero's Decline world. Which actually, okay, this might blow your mind. What if the Zelda that's been put to sleep is the Zelda from Ocarina of Time? So that means that she wasn't in love with the Ocarina of Time Link. She fell for his descendant, who was the excuse me princess Link.
Well, you know what I don't understand? That means she had no standards to begin
with.
You told me that Link saved a princess once, and then he just ditched her for another Zelda after he fell in love with her, and that Zelda is just, like, lost somewhere.
That's Twilight Princess.
Yeah, what is up with that?
He had Ilya.
But where did she go?
I don't know where she went. Okay, so the lab is now...
Well, how could she carry on the line and whatever if she has no prince or knight or anything?
She probably just ended up with, like, some noble and had a girl and called her Zelda.
It doesn't feel like Zelda would really want to be with just some noble, hoity-toity guy who just sits there and lifts his pinky and has tea. Like, it feels like she needs to be with somebody who has personality and stuff.
Hey, you!
More on that in a bit.
Linky, thank you so much. Now then, take a look over here.
I can't remember her.
The guidance stone must be starting to react. There's nothing mysterious about it. This is pure science. My sweet little guidance stone. You sure know how to make this old researcher's heart flutter. Well, then, let's go ahead and restore those Shekiah Slate runes for you, Link. Give me a nice snap. Go on, no time to be shy. Nice one.
Link's just like, why?
Okay then, Shekiah Slate repair underway. Guidance stone lock removed.
She's so bubbly.
Now let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Sorry, I don't know how to read my own writing.
That's fine. So we're placing our Shekiah Slate in this, and Shekiah Slate authenticating. Camera, Hyrule, Compendium album, Shekiah sensor, all confirmed.
Except it would, I think the way it says it, it's obviously Shekiah, but it would sound way cooler as Shekiah.
Yeah, that sounds very ninja-like. Boom.
I think Nintendo should change that name for the next time.
I agree.
Shekiah.
Well, apparently, we're going to be in for a big romance in this game between Link and Zelda.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
And supposedly they will end up together, because there's no way they can't. But this game just adds so many more questions to the, quote, Legend of Zelda series.
It's the history books of Zelda, Luke, because now there is a timeline. No.
Sensor obtained. This thing will help us find shrines. All right.
Oh my gosh.
I love this.
Why did we not get this before?
Because our tablet was broken. Duh.
Goodness.
Did not pay attention to what they said. You're off in your own little amber world.
I'm always in my Amber world.
I know, like...
It's only when people call me back to Earth that they're like, Amber, I need an answer. It's like, what? Oh, I have to come back to Earth.
We actually need to go and do some towers because we need more of the map unlocked.
And it's done! So it's all fixed up now?
Yay! Happy am I.
Let's see here. Which one is it?
That was adorable.
Camera, Hyrule Compendium, album, and Shekiah Slate. Yep, looks good. So I know this is sudden, but hear me out. Would you like to go on a date with me? Take a picture of me with the camera. Oh, and don't forget to let me see it.
Sorry, but I don't like short girls.
Oh, but I could use to help somebody to help me get the top shelf.
Oh, she's stretching to look cute. She's showing off.
Okay, so how do we take the picture? Wait, is she really gonna just hold that pose?
She's trying to look adorable for you.
Okay. Okay, do something
look
cute.
Adorable?
There you go, picture's done. You blinked.
Wait, no, I wasn't ready.
Yay! Now what? So I took your picture.
Snap! How's the picture taking going? Did you get a cute pic of me with the camera? Oh, I can't wait to see it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Whoa!
Let me see.
Who is this beautiful young creature? Oh, that's me. I guess that's my cue. Sorry, I kind of lost it there. It wasn't on purpose. I just stumble around cute guys. I mean, you're tall compared to me. Oh, it's not just a pretty girl in these images. Yes, there is some old landscape photos stored in the album. I knew Princess Zelda had made frequent use of the camera feature, but this... Hey, Linky! It dawns on me that you are Princess Zelda's appointed knight, which means you're taken. There's a strong possibility that you accompanied her to the places where these pictures were taken. Oh, right, the lost memory thing could prove troublesome. Let me refresh. You and I were dating. But don't lose hope. It just means that pictures could be the missing pieces. Piece to help restore your lost memories of how great we were together. If my hunch is correct, I suggest you check in with Impa. She knows more about Princess Zelda than even I do. Or you could stay here and not go and get the princess. Oh yeah, there's just one more thing I need from you. What are you doing for the rest of your life? You don't have to worry about this until after you see Impa, but I want you to bring me back to the ancient... Oh, some ancient materials. Bring them either to me or Robbie at the AGANA Ancient Tech Lab. As if my joy weren't enough, if you bring us ancient materials, we'll give you something good as a reward.
She talks a lot.
Alright, let's do this!
Alright, I actually have defeated some of those guardians using my shield, so...
Oh.
Hey, you're back! Something on your mind?
Something good?
I'm glad you asked. If you bring me some ancient materials, I'll power up your runes.
I'm gonna power up my runes.
By giving you a hug.
No, that's not powering up my
You'll
runes.
need 3 ancient scrolls to power up the Shekiah sensor. You'll need, 3 ancient shafts to power up your remote bombs. And you'll need 3 ancient cores to power up stasis. Do you want me to come along? I can help. If we're on the same page, stop staring at me. Hurry up and bring me some ancient materials. Oh no, you're staring again. I think you should go go see Impa first, but if you're saying you already have some ancient materials, then why don't we go ahead and power up your Shekiah Slate?
Let's do that. Kind of
I actually don't mind if you stare at me all day. Know that in exchange for those ancient materials.
Sorry, I talked over you.
It's fine.
I'll power up a rune on your Shekiah Slate.
I'm game.
Man, she talks a lot.
So, which rune do you want to power up?
Man.
Shekiah sensor.
Shekiah sensor power up time! Yahoo! For that, 3 ancient screws should do the trick. Yay! 3 ancient screws and a cute snap. Here I go! Ha-ha! Got it! Okay then, Shekiah sensor upgrade underway. Guidance stone lock removed. Now let's do this thing.
That was a lot of dialogue. Good job. Shekiah Slate authenticated, enhancing. You know, I wish I could cry on technology and make it better. It would actually make it stop working, but because water. But you said that water contains data in it.
Yeah,
so...
that's what they're finding out now. Like, it contains data, and like like water does, and even our tears do, which is interesting.
Okay, Hyrule Compendium linked.
Did you know that each of our tiers, depending on what type of tiers, so like 3 different types of tiers, like there's like you can have like tears of joy, tears of pain, or emotional tears. Like you can have physical pain, or you can have tears of joy. Never mind, I'll tell you later.
Yahoo! My little guidance stone did the trick.
Oh, the Shekiah Sensor Plus! I really want to see it!
Yes, quite. So if you don't mind about showing Simp Simon that spiffy Shekiah Slate...
Slated for upgrades.
Snap! I think you should see Impa first, but if you're saying you already have, why don't we go ahead and... I admire your enthusiasm, but more importantly, do you have any of the ancient materials I need? Too bad. I was gonna power up your Shekiah
Oh wow,
Slate.
so I didn't destroy as many guardians as I thought. Oh well.
Her outfit is very cute, though.
I want to know how she shrunk herself. Hello! Hey, nerd. You've acquired the Shekiah Sensor Plus. That should really come in handy. With that, you can sense things that you've captured with your camera. Say, what?
He looks like a professor, though.
Explaining won't do it justice. Why not learn by trying? Let's give it a shot, so to speak. Let's see here. Oh, I know. First, go take a picture of a sun shroom with the camera. There is one behind the lab.
Behind the lab?
Behind the lab.
Alright, what I was gonna say is, did you know that depending on what your tear, what a person is crying about, their tears have different chemical components to them?
Interesting.
I know.
Are you seeing a sun shroom anywhere?
But yeah, water and tears and any kind of water holds data. It holds like actual in fact, some people are saying like there might be data in other kinds of elements too in the world.
Oh, apparently that guy's full of crap. Because
but water definitely does.
Nothing there. There was no mushroom.
No mushroom behind the thing?
No, we were behind the lab.
But maybe we picked it before?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember picking anything.
Well, if there's no mushroom...
There is... Whoops. That was the wrong one. There we go. We're gonna tag this place.
Okay.
Oh,
you can't place any more pins. No.
Well, that's not good. Let's try to go down there and tag it then.
Okay.
Wait, is that another one over there? Huh.
Wow, this is crazy.
So yeah, anyway, getting back to our whole Zelda timeline thing, you can, if people are wondering about that, you can blame the fans, but I have done, there's another shrine way up there.
Whoa,
I have done a
lot
lot of research now on the timeline just because it's so fascinating. So the hero's decline is the one where Ocarina of Time Link fails. And then the child one is the one where he succeeded but went back as a kid. Ganondorf was arrested, then executed, like we saw in Twilight Princess. Then you had the Twilight Princess timeline, like in that, history. And then the third one is where Link was also successful, but the hero abandons Hyrule. because
Whoa.
Zelda sends him back to be a child. So then you have like these 3 different places where Link dies and the events that happen because of that.
That's crazy.
Then you have the one where Link goes back to live his childhood, which is a terrible one for Ocarina of Time Link, because he grows up with all this resentment and stuff like that, because people basically think he's insane. So it's kind of like a fate worse than death.
Oh my gosh. Is that an actual game?
Yeah, he goes back as a kid. But
What
no,
game is that?
there's no game. They've joked about.
They should make a game where, because I want to see what happens, because I need to feel the pain. They need to face what they did. Nintendo needs to face what horrible, like, fate they put them
I think that would become the first mature Zelda game, because think about it. Ocarina of Time Link gets a scar on the side of his face. He has, like, this battle-damaged armor. He carries around this massive sword because he's not using the Master Sword anymore. He becomes a ruthless warrior. It'd be almost like Zelda Berserk or something, like, really dark like that.
I want to see that. I think that needs to happen.
That would be the first mature Zelda game. That's what I would do. I would take important elements from the Zelda timeline that need to be games, like the Imprisoning War, which happened before A Link to the Past, that showed what happened to Link's dad, because he was a Hylian knight who died during the Imprisoning War. Then have a game about adult Ocarina of Time Link, going through all that stuff. What's up, Impa?
I heard Pura was giving you the runaround, but you seem just fine.
Locked mementos.
Complete. Now then, let me see. Oh, aha! This is without a doubt the camera that Princess Zelda used 100 years ago.
Still works.
It's a pretty awesome brand.
It could be that if you visit the locations within these pictures, you will be able to restore some of the stuff. Come back once you have tried going to at least one of these locations. Link.
Okay, cool.
There is something I wish to give you. It is this amazing hat that I'm wearing. Would you like
that
it?
hat is actually frightening. But we could actually go into so much detail about the timeline thing, but basically blame the fans.
I do blame them.
I want to spend time talking about the Link to the Past thing, because that's also kind of a tragedy what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys and gals, that does it for this episode. Join us next time as our discussion continues on the messed up Zelda timeline. And until we meet again, God bless, happy gaming.
Hope you're enjoying our Breath of the Wild series.
See ya!